The war ended in August 1945, but for Hiru Onoda, a young intelligence officer in the Imperial Japanese Army, the news never arrived. Or rather, when it did, he refused to believe it. Hidden in the thick, humid jungles of Lubang Island in the Philippines, Onoda sat in a hand-dug trench, cleaning his Arisaka rifle with a piece of coconut fiber. He had been left there with a simple, terrifying order. You are forbidden to die by your own hand. It may take 3 years, it may take 5, but whatever happens, we'll come back for you. Months turned into years. The world moved on. The Cold War began. Humans walked on the moon. The Beatles took over the airwaves. But on Lubang, the war was still very much alive. Onoda lived on a diet of stolen bananas, coconuts, and the occasional cow he managed to kill. His uniform rotted off his back, replaced by patches of hemp and bark. He dodged search parties, believing their loudspeakers were enemy propaganda designed to trick him into surrendering. When he found leaflets dropped by planes saying the war is over, come down, he studied the font and the phrasing, concluding they were clever American forgeries. They are testing our resolve, he would tell the 2 soldiers remaining with him. By 1974, 29 years after the surrender, Onoda was the last man left. His comrades had either died or surrendered years prior. He was a ghost in the trees, a middle-aged man who still moved with the lethargic precision of a jungle predator. Then, a young Japanese traveler named Norio Suzuki decided to go on a quest. He told his friends he was going to look for Lieutenant Onoda, a panda, and the abominable snowman, in that order. Incredibly, Suzuki found him. He tracked Onoda into the deep bush and called out his name. When Onoda emerged from the brush, rifle leveled at the boy's chest, Suzuki didn't run. He bowed. The Emperor and the people of Japan are worried about you, Suzuki said. Onoda stood frozen. He wanted to believe, but his orders were absolute. I cannot surrender, he said, his voice raspy from decades of silence. I will not leave my post unless my superior officer orders me to do so. Suzuki traveled back to Japan and found Onoda's former commander, Major Taniguchi, who was now an old man working in a bookstore. They flew the major to Lubang. On March 9, 1974, in a small jungle clearing, the major stood in his old military coat and read the surrender orders aloud. Onoda stood at attention, his back straight as a spear. When the reading finished, he slowly leaned forward and placed his sword at the major's feet. The war was finally over. When Onoda returned to Japan, he was a celebrity, but he found a country he didn't recognize, a land of neon lights, skyscrapers, and a pace of life that felt alien to a man who had spent 30 years listening to the wind. He eventually moved to a quiet ranch in Brazil, finding peace in the vast, open spaces that reminded him of the world he had guarded for so long. He was the last soldier of World War II to come home, a man who had lost his youth to a ghost, proving that the strongest prison in the world is the one built out of loyalty.